thank you for letting me know that, Lauren. Oh my gosh, why could I was doing all of this work. Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting me know you couldn't hear me. So I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go do this all over again because I want to draw this out to make sure that you are hearing what I'm talking about. So let's do this all over again, okay? The dream client trifecta. Thank you for letting me know that. Well, that would have been totally embarrassing without like a whole show recorded without hearing exactly what I'm saying. So let me repeat what I was saying. The dream client trifecta is the foundational piece to what the whole heart-centered marketing system is all about. And this allows you to stand out, and it also allows you to work with people that you just totally love. And this is the trifecta that is one of the major foundations of Atlas. So I want to teach it to you. And if you have any questions, anything like that, any feedback, anything that you want to know, clarity on your part, maybe we can incorporate this into your business, please let me know. So let's start this all over again. And we'll start off with, and there's no rhyme or reason to like the order of this, but I'll start off at the top here. And this is about who you want to work with. Okay. And the next part is how you get easy results. How you get easy results. And then finally, this is what you love to do. And these are your strengths. They're your strengths. And in the middle of these pieces, these are very important components because you want the person to have an urgent or irrational need and desire. Without that, you can still sell something, but dream clients are looking for this solution that they have not been able to find, and they'll do anything to get the solution. And we're not taking advantage of people here. I know that when you see the irrational piece, it doesn't mean that we're taking advantage of people. It's just that they will do anything in their power to get the solution. And if you can do it really, really well, how you get the results, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to attract, or the question I always get is, how do you find dream clients? Well, the reality is they're looking for you in this situation. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second, because they're looking for anything. And they're taking multiple things. They might take multiple courses. They might hire multiple coaches, whatever it is, and trying to get to that solution. They're unwilling to give up. And the last thing we want to do is take advantage of anybody. So we want to make sure that all of this that I'm showing you is aligned so that you could be the best solution for them and for yourself, that you're not just creating something out of the ethers and just saying, I'll just sell this thing and make some money. That's not what we're about, right? So the next piece of this is that they have little or no perceived options. And please ask me if you have any questions or feedback, anything that I can help you, because that's what I love to do. I'd love to help you input this into your framework or into your brain, or how you can use it, anything like that. Any challenges that you have on on this drawing as well, I'd love to talk about them. So no perceived options. Okay? Because the reason here is that if you have people if you're creating something that is a commodity that everybody else is doing, that you don't stand out in it, that you can do it so well that hardly anybody else or nobody else can compete with you, then it's going to be hard to sell. And you're just a commodity at that point. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I'm really great at in my strengths, what I love to do every single day, which is all this stuff I'm talking about right here, by the way. And I can get easy results. I know that if people follow what I'm telling them to do, I can get them results easily. Sometimes it doesn't happen fast. I didn't say fast, right? But I said it's easy for me to get them the results if they just follow along. Sometimes it just depends on the person. So I'm not talking about you get this in 5 days, in 30 days you get this, in 60 days you get that. That's a whole other discussion around marketing and everything else. That's not what I'm talking about. But I know that if I curate the right people, which is a whole other discussion, which I guess it kind of comes into play when we're talking about this part here. If I curate the right people, then this is going to work well for me. So that's why the trifecta is so important. But let me get back to this and finish this before I go off on more tangents, okay? So that means that this piece here, oops, the other way around, this way, they are actively looking for a solution. So this is where it all comes together. So these are the four, I guess the three pieces of the trifecta, and then the three interchangeable or interconnecting components of what the trifecta needs to have. Because if you just go out and choose a, let me just get another color here. Let's use purple. If you just go out and choose like a who, and you've done your dream client, exercises, and you figure it all out, and who do you want, and you know how to get results, but they do not have an urgent desire. They don't. It's a market that is not looking for something, or the person that you've chosen at the level that they are at, like, within the customer level of awareness, let's say, they're not at that level yet where I don't really need anything right now, or they don't recognize they need something. That's going to be a struggle. And that's the reason why you have this middle component that needs to be there. This one, whoops, let's go to this guy right here. You need this component in there. Okay, so that's where the urgent desire comes into play. Let me just get rid of that one. And then it's the little or no perceived options. So the little or no perceived options piece, this one here, the yellow, okay? If you are, again, promoting something or doing something that is what everybody else is doing, so it's just a carbon copy of something and maybe a little cheaper, maybe it's a little more expensive, like whatever, it's just something different, not different enough, I should say, then they have all these options. And that's where you come into that area where you're competing with everybody else. They're just, do they like you? Is your whatever they're judging you on is so much more difficult to get out into the marketplace. Whereas when you have something that you love, let me go back to the drawing. When you have something that you love like this, that you're doing it so well, it's a strength of yours, and you can get them easy results in a unique fashion, then this is a huge piece of the marketing. You don't have to do a lot of marketing because they look at you, they look at what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're saying that they can get the result, and they look out in the marketplace and they can't find anybody else who's doing the exact same thing. And that is a huge part of marketing. This is the reason why I've been focused on dream clients and diving deeper and deeper into what does that truly mean? How do I get people to sell? Like, that's really what I'm trying to help people do, is make sales, but I'm doing it in a unique way. And so it's all focused on this. This is why when you hear me talk a lot about the single focus for until you get to $1 million, that's the reason why I do it, because I think that I'm much more understanding of what I actually teach every day that I do it. Since 2021, when I began teaching Atlas, and it really started in 2020 for me when I started with Right Marketing Copy and focusing on the dream client there. So it really started in 2020 for me, which is already 4 years old. And I've been doing this every single day. And I think that probably in 4 years from now, I'll probably be even more aware or an understanding of what I'm actually doing. So I don't have to worry about what is the right thing to do, because I'm standing out by using the Dream Client Trifecta and curating and bringing the right people in that I want to work with, who are looking for all of these things. Like I said, little or no perceived options is here. Then I've got people who are looking for the urgency to get their product out. It's not a beginner. That's one of the reasons why I say a lot of times, for me, the market for me is not a beginner, because they don't have an urgency. And it doesn't mean that I don't work with beginners a lot. It's just the fact that they haven't yet gone through some of the unfortunate pains that a lot of my clients have already gone through. And they're not at that urgency level, even though they think they are. Like, I need to get this out. I want to quit my job or whatever. But for me, most of the people that are coming to me have this irrational and a good irrational and an urgent need to still get their program out, because for so many other reasons, they've been through other coaches, they've spent a lot of money, they're exhausted. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they're at that urgency level, and then they're looking for a different approach of how they can be helped to make their product sales. Does that make sense? So then we got this other piece here, which is the last piece. We'll use green. How's that? Right here. And this green part, it sounds obvious, right? But they're actively looking for solutions. And I can't tell you how many times I speak with people and we go through some of the dream client trifecta here, and they're like, well, I know who I want to work with. I've got a solution and all that. And then they're like, well, the market has no money, which is not on there, but it's maybe it should be in some way, shape, or form. They don't have any money, or they're not even looking. See, this is where the problem is, because we look at what we love to do. We've been sold that before, like sell what you love to do. And I believe part of that, but at the same time, it's more about a discovery process. It's more about who are the people that I want to work with, right? At this point, let me just get a different color. Like, who are the people? And it starts there, but you discover what it is that they're looking for. You're discovering, is there a connection, right? Let me go here and draw this out. So if you have the who up here, is there a connection to your superpowers somewhere? Is there a connection? Like, what they need? So it would actually be like this. Let me back this up. It would actually be like this. So the who and the need to your superpowers. To a superpower. See, it's a simple equation. And if you don't, thank you. Thank you, Emma. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, by the way, you want me to help you put it into your business or something, let me know. I'd love to coach some of you that are here live with me now. By the way, if you're here live, let me know, #live or #replay. I would love to know, please. And thank you for Kali, and thank you, Lorna, for letting me know about my audio problems at the beginning of the show. That would have been pretty funny. Okay, so the who is, if you just choose a who and then you skip over, let me just grab a red here like this, and they don't have a need, and you're choosing a superpower or something that you love. Like, let me see if I can draw a heart. Yeah, that's not bad, right? So you just choose this and you say, okay, this is what I love, but they don't have a need for it, then you're going to have a serious problem. And that's where I find a lot of challenges because, and I've been in this boat so many times. So let me know, by the way. Thanks, Jack. Good to see you here, Jack. And whoever this Facebook user is, thank you for that. By the way, if you are watching on my, in my group, Facebook group, you can just give permission to Ecamm, and I can see your name and give you props. And that gives me an idea. Why don't I just give you an invite to the Facebook group if you're not already in my Facebook group, which is pretty cool. We talk about this stuff all the time. Where was I? I was going somewhere with that. This is looking back to me. So I see a lot of conversations that will talk about, like, I'm not making any sales on the product because what I find is that we choose things that we believe are going to, that people want, and we haven't done the research. We haven't gone back to this piece. We haven't gone back to the needs, right? We haven't done this. And this part is the discovery process. This is the discovery process. If you don't do this, if you don't have a discovery process or a way to speak to your audience in a way that eliminates the need for a sale. These are not sales conversations. These are discovery conversations. They're more of, here's a better word. It actually not a better word, but this is another word for it that you could look into, which is detective. It's the detective work, right? So once you have the who's and you're looking for an area or a problem that they are having, you're doing detective work. So you're having conversations with these people and you're looking for the match between what their problems are, their needs, their major need, and a need that they're looking for. If we go back to, let me go back to the iPad, go back to the trifecta, and they're looking for this urgent desire. Like, what is it that matches your superpowers, that matches these strengths, that matches what you love to do? Okay. That's what we're looking for. Is there any questions so far here? Let me just see up here. Hey, Kate, good to see you. Nice to see you live. I've started a company and need marketing, Jack. Okay, cool. Tell me what you need in marketing. Where's the challenge for you? I'm here to answer anything that I possibly can. So just throw it into the comments and I will do my best. Emma, this is a big step. Let me go back to here. The big step that is overlooked. Let me get this up here. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of times here's the thing. You're right that it's totally overlooked. And one of the big things that I recently admitted or learned myself and realized after doing all of this business for a long, long time was the fact that no matter how successful we've had something in the past, because I've done a lot of things like masterminds or business related programs to help people sell stuff or marketing programs, and then moving it online. And here's the thing that our solutions are assumptions, regardless if they've worked before in a different environment. So online, because you have a different environment, and there's probably not a lot of adjustments you have to make, but I still had to back out and say, okay, what is it that they're really truly looking for? Because I've already done this other thing and I'm just going to transfer it over and just teach the same dang thing. I'm not saying you can't do that. It's a really good foundation. But it was when I leaned back into the Dream Client Trifecta to say, who are the people, first of all, that I truly want to help? And what are they truly looking for? Not in a survey. I didn't do this in a survey. I didn't stick out a survey and say, go fill this out and ask a whole bunch of questions. It was truly having conversations with people individually, one-on-one. And this is the reason, Emma, to your point, why people overlook this, because it's a slower process, right? It slows down. When am I going to get money in? But I'm telling you, at least from my experience, I've been doing this specific thing, teaching this for over 4 years now. And this is the key. The key is go and have the conversations that help you define what it is that you want to do. Like in this, let me just grab another, let's use orange. Okay. Like all this area. It's like it helps you define when you have the conversations. Oh, that's something that I love to do, and it is a strength, whatever it is, and it matches these people, right? So like the whole who is a whole other discussion, and I'd love to talk about that too if you want more insight in that. But this is what it is. It comes down to when you have those conversations, it'll open up the areas of strength that you could say, I could teach that. So example is when I taught write marketing copy. I've been writing copy, over 40 years. So like I'm really good at it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is where people need their help. They're looking for copy. And there's many, many perceived options out there. So if we think about this, we look back to how I get the results. How I got the results is completely different than anybody else out there when it comes to marketing or copywriting. Still to this day, unless somebody's copied me, okay? But to this day, the way that I teach copy is completely different. Now, all I had to do was explain that process to somebody. And they've looked at all the other options of how to write copy. And then when they look at mine, they'll say, well, that's completely different. Let me take a look at that. And there's nobody else teaching it this way. So it was easy for me to sell the program. Does that make sense? And then I focused on dream clients, and then the rest is history because it turned into kind of Atlas. Let me just see here. Got some, what am I missed? It's a concrete epoxy coating company. Okay, so tell me what the problem is. What's the problem, or where do you need some clarity in marketing? I have been having conversations in spaces on X. I've been having. Is that a comment, or is it a question, or is it something you need? Like, it's something that I drew out here. Can you give me some insight on that, Emma? By the way, if you're here, let me know if you are here live with hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay.